folks, Gareth here, and this is the BOYA microphone. This is a high quality stereo microphone that goes on top of your camera. As you can see there's a bit of a ghost of a camera here, and then this just fits on the top. As you can hear, my audio quality is a bit poor. My other microphone died probably months ago, and I've been looking around to see what I could find, and I didn't want to spend too much in case it didn't work as well as the last one. But this one popped up, which is BOYA. It's about £35, and it's a stereo microphone, as you can see. Fur windscreen, 3.5mm stereo connector, earphone and a pouch. It features high quality stereo microphone designed for use with DSLR cameras and camcorders, 90° to 120° pickups, pattern switching, compact lightweight design, two-step high-pass filter, adjusted sound attenuation, adjustable recording level, 3.5mm headphone jack and line timeout, integrated shock mount and shoe mount with threaded 1/4" socket. So there's our specs as well. 78 decibels or more for the signal to noise ratio. Frequency response is 35 to 2000 megahertz, and sensitivity is that 200 ohms or less. Powered by 2 AAA batteries, which I'll now need to find, and includes 3.5mm headphone stuff as well. It weighs 78 grams. So the interesting thing about this is that you can position the I believe they're cardioid microphones or condenser microphones around. So because I'm behind the camera most of the time, we can position them round so it'll pick up my voice as I'm talking from the side here coming in. So that would be useful to me. So this kind of ticks the boxes. Well, you can't see that very well under my lights. I need to get new lights. Well, there you go. You can move them like that. So let's dig in and see what it's like, and we'll fit it up to the camera and see how I sound. Okay, so it's actually bigger than I anticipated it would be. It's a lot bigger than I anticipated it would be. We'll come back to that in a second. And in here we have a 3.5mm headphone jack plus a headphone that is directly out of the early 90s. Very thin, fine wire, so I can't imagine this is going to be the best quality cable, but we'll see. We have a 3.5 to 3.5 audio connector. I'm guessing this is for the side of the microphone into the camera. My camera has a 2.5mm headphone jack, so I have to use a different cable. We have a little baggie to put it in to protect it when we're travelling abroad. And we have a wind muffler. So when we go out to make Lethal Weapon 7, Tech Addicts, the movie, we can attach this to it and reduce sound noise. It's a nice addition. It does allow us to have a bit more freedom with the actual microphone, and we've got some silica gel at the bottom. And finally, before we have a quick look at the actual device, we have the instruction pamphlet here, which will be very handy to explain all the bits and pieces and buttons and stuff. So, well, looking around the device, and there's a lot to take in on this, obviously. Right, so this is the device, and it's somewhat cheap black plastic, but then I reckon you put this on your camera and you forget about it, hopefully. So we got BOYA, uninspired logo there, product code, and then the stereo microphone at the bottom. On the back here we have a couple of buttons, and an LED indicator. See there, it's not exactly forthcoming, so this is take 10 decibels off your recording levels, on off, and then something else. This is a 2-step high pass filter. It'll be interesting to see how that functions. We have a volume roller on the side. That's where the 2 AA batteries go in it. We have a clip here for the cable, so we have line in plus headphones, which is really handy because I have on occasion, as you've probably noticed watching some of my other videos, when my other microphone was dying, recorded videos that are about 25 minutes long without any sound on them, and had to go back and do the voice work in post-processing, which is a real time consumer. And then we have the microphones on the front. So these are plastic as well. We have little indicators up here that show the degree, and it snaps into position. And that's as far as they go. Actually, that's a bit disappointing. I was hoping they would go at a right angle, because that's still pointing out here. So I'm going to be talking into this bubble here. Well, I guess that would probably work. It's not pointing directly at my mouth. So we can do that and double up and hopefully achieve stereo. That would be nice. And then, well, they're plastic and they've got I think it's a light metal grill. If anything, it's quite difficult to tell, but there's a grill on the front there. And we have a mount which we can adjust depending on your camera, and then this goes in the top of the shoe on top of the camera, and you can tighten down. So it's a dual rotator, and we'll stick it on my camera, take some pictures and insert them here.
So saddled upon the camera, it looks quite well, although it's important to point out, and I didn't in the actual video there, that there is a screw thread on the bottom for a tripod mount, which is very handy.
Okay, so we're going to give it a bit of a test. Obviously this is not on the microphone itself, we just need to put some batteries in here. Turn around, make sure I've got them the right way around. We do have them the right way around. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, so the quality of the cable does make a big difference. Okay, so the quality of the cable does matter. We have, this was the one that was included in it. This is one that I know is actually shocking. I think actually, is it? It might be. This might not be very good. And then this one is one from Gadget. There we go, you can just about see that. Gadget, that I know is pretty darn good. So we're going to hook her up and work our way through all three of these just to see how the audio differs, because I don't want to just think this is rubbishy because this cable that was included is a bit low rent, and I know that this one is low rent, or I have a 90% suspicion that one's low rent, and that one's darn good. Okay, so this is us on the cable that was included. Hopefully this sounds quite well, just checking the microphones, and I need to turn one of the microphones, so that'll be a pretty good test of how much audio this actually picks up. When I sat down, because I'm using the headphone socket, I was able to deduce that it is very sensitive because I touched the tripod and every cable movement is picked up by it, so it is kind of sensitive. So we're going to turn the microphone now, and that should be both of them somewhat facing my talking area. I am talking in a balloon out here this way, and then these two microphones are pointing this way. So hopefully this sounds quite well. Touching the unit itself, it transposes every single sound onto the microphones. However, it does sound quite good and beefy as long as you don't touch it, which is kind of nice. So we're going to change from one cable to another cable and see if that helps increase or decrease the audio quality. Okay, so now we're on to a third-party connector, the one that I thought was terrible. It does sound to be quite decent enough. It seems to be carrying the audio over quite nicely. It'll be interesting to see how this sounds in post, or in the editing room, or even just on YouTube. You can hear my nasally Irish tones coming through quite nicely. You can hear me salivating as well. I do apologise. I'll not do that again. Alright, so let's go for the high quality one. High quality, the one that costs more than the rest. Okay, so this is on the Gadget cable. We removed this spindly little one and the bundled one, and hopefully you can hear the difference. Otherwise these two are just fine, and now I think about it, this was bundled in with another accessory that I got quite recently, and I just thought it was rubbish when I used it on that, but it seems to be okay using it on this. So that's the that's the super sensitive BOYA. Oh no, let's press some of the buttons and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to take the minus 10 decibel button. And does that seem to make much of a difference? You tell me. If we open this, it certainly sounds very crinkly and crackly. And we're going to have a go with the 2-step high-pass filter. So that seems to have dumbed everything down quite a bit, although we still have the minus 10 decibel function in, so we'll switch it over to see if it makes a difference. Okay, so it does sound like it's dumbed down quite a lot. I would like to think that you can hear me. It might have even turned off altogether. But we'll take it back out again because it doesn't sound quite as impressive as it did before. Alright, well, this has been the BOYA thingy, the BY-SM80. And hopefully we'll be using this from now on the podcast, if it isn't too loud. And thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button down below. Have a look at some of the other videos which I've been doing recently, and take care.